All right, people, here we go again. It's the Arc Raider old timer. It's your mate, Dan. Right, what are we going to do here? So, are rats ruining Arc Raiders for you? Well, check it out, brother and or sister. I've got 6 tips that you could do right now that might actually help your experience. So sit back, tear open that bit of paper, drop that minestrone soup into the cup, and let's get into it. All right, so check it out, yeah? I'm now in peaceful lobbies 95% of the time. I really shouldn't say that because people are going to say, you bloody wazzock. Right now, we're going to go out and shoot you constantly just because you've had the audacity to say that. But I'm in peaceful lobbies most of the time now when I play Arc Raiders, okay? I still encounter the odd scumbag, but not regularly. I've got a more detailed stealth survival with loadouts, crafting tips coming in a few videos' time. It's about 10 tips. It's really practical, good stuff. All stuff that I've learned, but not just stuff that I've learned or read, stuff that I've put into use. Like you'll see it in the video. That's coming, but that's not for this video. These tips are in order. It's 6 tips plus a little bonus thing for you. Do you know what I'm saying? All right. So let's do it. Right. Number 6. Now, you're going to laugh when I say this. It's going to sound proper old manny, but I'm going to say it. Close the bloody doors behind you. Now, I play with people who, for example, I was in a water treatment plant the other day. There's loads of doors there, loads of little nooks and crannies, right? All you got to do, you don't even need to stop. If you position yourself correctly as you're running, you can click the button on the door and close it behind you. Now, of course, I'm playing footage here, and I'm sure in this footage I'm not closing doors, right? But some of this footage is really old. When I say really old, it's from when I was first playing the game. I guess that's my excuse. That's my excuse. The doors are free information. Doors opening and closing are, in some cases, as useful as like noisemakers. Do you get what I'm saying? But it's not something people think about because you tend to think, oh, I'm not going to be in here too long. But that's always the way, isn't it? You're running through a certain area. You think, right, I'm going to get to my checkpoint. I've got my loot. And then you just see a locked door or a locker and you think, oh, I have one final little peek in there, Jeffrey. And then you stop and then you think, I'll just have a little look. And that time looking is perfect opportunity for any rats out there who, 1, can hear you run into a certain point that you're trying to get to. 2, notice that you've stopped. If you close the door behind you, you can at least hear a door open. When I close the doors behind me, I'll tell you what I do. If someone comes in when I'm looting, I'm finished up quickly and I'm normally out. I'll be honest. I just go. Now, I know some people want to hang around. I want to talk. Hey, do you want a cup of tea? You know, put their arms around people. That's cool. And I respect that. But I'm a very paranoid. In fact, it's actually a good way to play in some cases. But I'm a paranoid player. If the door opens, I'm out. I don't hang around to see what happens. The door opening brought me time to make that decision. It's just another little thing that helps you avoid potential rattery. Just close the doors as you're running through. Really should have kind of saved that for the survival tips thing, but I stuck it in here as a little one. Right, number 5. Never loot while exposed. Kind of obvious this, but rats, this will encourage rats. Bad players wait for you to enter the looting UI screen to attack. You're vulnerable, you're distracted, your movement's restricted. But when I'm in that screen, it's just going to encourage rattery. It's going to encourage rats, especially because your back's turned. That's what rats like to do, shoot you in the back. So don't loot when somebody's around. Like, honestly, see, the thing is, I'm in good lobbies now, and I've been in lobbies where we're running in together and we're saying, yeah, what's going on, what's going on? And we're all kind of looting together at the same time. For the most part, 90% of the time, if I just bumped into somebody, if they're not particularly chatty, you can normally, to be honest, hear somebody friendly, although that's not always a sure sign, but you can just tell. We'll get to that in a little while. Normally, most of the time, if somebody's around, I'll finish up my looting and then I'll go. And I definitely will not turn my back. I always clear the area first, check everything's okay. And then I scan my surroundings, position myself in cover before opening the loot UI. Just think carefully when you're looting and never loot while exposed. It's just going to encourage rattery. Means you've got to think a little bit more about your looting. For example, in that level with the space travel, there's desks, aren't there? And those desks are in little compartments. You can go to the corner and then loot. Number 4, don't turn your back on a raider when you're leaving them. So most backstabbing happens when you sort of show vulnerability. by openly fleeing and turning your back. It's like an invitation to shoot. Your back's turned, for Christ's sake. It's basic prey behavior that triggers that sort of predator instinct. If I see somebody, I'll flash the light. I'll say, yeah, friendly, I'm all good, friendly. They'll normally flash back. Sometimes they talk, sometimes they don't. Maybe that's for another video. And what do you do if they don't talk? Perhaps that's for another video. The issue doing the fucking head. That's for another video. But sometimes they'll talk, and then I'll just back off. Yeah, I'm facing them, backing off, running away. And once I get to a sensible type of distance, then I'll turn around and run once I'm pretty far away. But I'm not going to turn my back on them straight away if they're right in front of me. And they don't either. And that's kind of accepted. It's silly to do that. When encountering potentially hostile players, don't turn and run, okay? These are tips for my older players, for my newer players, for my peaceful players. Don't turn and run. Walk backwards with your gun aimed at them. That's what I do. At the end of the day, they're highly unlikely to turn into a rat if you're backing away and you've got your gun ready, because they're going to get shot straight away. If you put your gun away, turn around and run away, it's just inviting it. So number 3 is something interesting, I'd say. So the reality is, with no reputation system that we can clearly see or actual consequences, betrayal is kind of like the optimal strategy. Like, we know, and I'll get to that later, we know if you play bad, you get put in certain rooms, right? But it's not clear. It's not a massive score that's going up and down that is visually clear. So it doesn't really deter a lot of people, and everybody knows it. And, remember, other players have got no logical reason to trust you either. It's not personal. It's the game's design. It's what makes the game. It's what makes it fun. What this means for you is that you've got to accept the reality up front that by sort of managing risk and not hoping for people to be really nice, you have to take that into account. Don't be naive and don't be paranoid either. Just understand the sort of like the incentive structure that you're operating in. You're not trusting people to be good. You're thinking about acceptable risk levels, and just don't give someone a zero consequence opportunity to take you out. Make yourself difficult. Make yourself like a risky target, even while being friendly. It's kind of like just taking a little bit of psychology into the actual game with you. This is all stuff that I've done, which means most of the time my lobbies now are peaceful. I can go in, get the loot I want, and then I'm out. And every now and then there's somebody there just to keep me on my toes. That's fine. And if I really do want to stay sharp with my combat, then I'll go to Stella. But lately, even in Stella, there's people jumping around playing flutes and dancing. Well, I shouldn't really say that. These next games I have are going to be bloody horrible. So yeah, number 3, I'd say just understand that sort of theory. Take that into the game with you and just see how you get on. Just remember that there's no reason for people to necessarily trust you either. All right, you lovely Arc Raider crew, quick old timer ad break before we jump back into it. If you want to support the channel and join the Arc Raiders old timer crew, check out the Patreon. Patrons get access to exclusive merch. We're talking nice mugs, funky t-shirts, trinkets, shout outs at the start of videos, chances to hop on a stream with me. We'll go bonkers together. Patreon not your ting? No problem, brother. You can make a one-time contribution for whatever you think my content is worth by buying me a burger. Links in the description. It's worth nothing, you want. Oh, come on, that's not very nice, is it? While we're here, check out arctrader.com. Trader spelled TRAIDER.com. It is the official partner with Arc Raider Old Timer. It's your one-stop shop for everything. Arc Raiders, you know what I'm saying? Make safe trades. Use the player reporting system with video evidence. Browse the full item database. Track loot spots, quests, community notes, a full bounty system. Put a hit out on man them, you know what I'm saying? Everything in one website instead of hunting all over the internet like an absolute lunatic. So support me via the Patreon, links in the description. Buy me a burger if you want to. If you don't want to, it's cool. And check out arctrader.com, the official sponsor. Okay, deep breath. Let's get back into it. Number 2, very important this. I didn't used to do it. I'm doing it a lot more. And my friend actually done it today. My friend controlled the narrative by communicating first. And that's my tip number 2. We ran up on, I think it was 3 people that were running together. We were near that room. If you guys know the room on that level, so it's like a tiny little room near where the train. I don't want to tell too many people. It's a tiny little room where the trains are, which everybody heads to. We were near that room, which means it was going to be naturally hot anyway. It was going to be controversial. You know, that's a very dangerous room to go to because everyone goes there. They wanted to go there, we wanted to go there, and then he calmed it down by saying, look, we're going to take out a Rocketeer. And he did actually control the narrative, and we all got away fine. Well, we didn't. I got killed by the bloody Rocketeer, but besides that part, there was no actual beef, and it all sort of ended pretty nicely. So it's kind of like saying that, if you think about it, whoever speaks first kind of has that psychological power in the interaction. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, first communication sets the tone for the entire encounter, and then you're establishing the rules of engagement. That's essentially what he done. He laid his foot down. He's like, right, look, this is what we're doing. We're coming for this. Chill, chill, chill. At first, it wasn't so smooth. It was like, whoa, 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 because they come around the corner with the gun. But he actually calmed them down. Just build that instant credibility. You're proving good intentions through action, not through words. And most players will reciprocate friendly behaviour, but not all the time. But generally, if you control the narrative by communicating first, you should do okay. And again, it lowers the chance of somebody turning into a rat because you're taking that chance away from them. And that's what this video is all about. Lowering the possibility, lowering the emergence of rats, because they can ruin the game. And tip number 1, leverage behavioural matchmaking. So stay peaceful for 15 plus matches. I've done a video on it. I'll put a link up there where a developer confirmed that if you play nice, you get put in nice matches. And it's the truth. Another friend messaged me today like, oh, I've had peaceful matches since you told me that. Yeah, because he's played his last 20 games not shooting and killing people. And you get put in peaceful matches. And by getting put in peaceful matches, that drastically lowers your chance of coming across rats, which is why I put this as number 1. Doesn't eliminate it. You will, every now and then, a good person will think, I've had a bad day, I'm going to shoot the next person I see. Or they might have come across somebody who shot them and they thought, yeah, stuff that you can have a little bit too. I'll pay it forward by shooting you in the back of the head. Do you know what I mean? But most of the time, you know, behavioural matchmaking, play good for 15 matches, and that will lower your chances of rats because you're going to be put in better lobbies. And that's what I'm finding. Just avoid shooting players for 15 consecutive matches and see how it goes. Some people say fill out the post-match survey saying you didn't enjoy, you know, the surveys afterwards saying you didn't enjoy PvP. I tend to just skip them because I'm not guaranteed what that does, and I don't want them to change the game too much. Do you know what I mean? But it will edge you into friendlier lobbies if you don't shoot people. You know, I've done the video on it, like I said there. And even when attacked, this is the hard part. And I'm not perfect at this. I don't follow this, but you guys should. Even when attacked, try not to retaliate. Just escape if you can. Shooting back even in self-defense, some people think resets your aggression score. I'm not too sure about that. That particular part's not been confirmed. But just take deaths on free loadouts while building your sort of peaceful reputation. It's a painful short-term way of playing, but it pays off massively. Just think of it as investment in future peaceful raids. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, the devs confirmed this, and that's why for me it's a number 1 tip to help if rats are ruining Arc Raiders for you. Because if you play peacefully, you'll get put in peaceful lobbies, and the chances are you're going to encounter less rats, just like I'm finding, okay? And the bonus tip, this is a good bonus tip, yeah. So it's almost like, I'd say it's bonus motivation, really. Understand rat psychology, okay? And again, I've spoken to these people. True rats target solo players exclusively. They avoid squads because they can't win fair fights. We know that. That's why they shoot in the back. That's why they shoot at extraction points. That's why they'll take you down with massive weapons. It's pathetic, really. But I like it and I love it because it's part of the game and it makes the game. That jeopardy is what makes every game, right? Without them there, the game would still be fucking awesome. You still take it down really cool arc. It's great. But those people make that jeopardy tingle, so to speak. Just my bonus tip or motivation is understand that this psychology is quite powerful. Like, they're not skilled predators, rats. That's why they get angry about this matchmaking, because now they're put in lobbies with people who can fight back. They're opportunistic. Not cowards is a bit harsh, but they're opportunistic, aren't they? And they only attack when you're vulnerable, i.e. looting, i.e. at an extraction point, tapping on a console, i.e. when your back's exposed. They need every advantage because they lack the skill. Do you know what I mean? Don't take betrayal personally. You know, these players in actual PvP have issues because this is why they target the easy players, and this is why they're not happy with their matchmaking. Some PvP players are really good and skilled, And they're not rats, they're just good at PvP because they've learned to become good because people have been shooting them. So not everybody who's good at PvP is a rat. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, make yourself a hard target and they'll avoid you. Move with confidence, awareness, preparation. You know, rats smell fear and exploit weakness. So, yeah, these tips transformed my Arc Raiders experience, I'll be honest, from constant betrayals to like 95% peaceful encounters. It's about psychology, awareness, and working with the matchmaking system. All right? Just be patient. Get through that 15-match grind of, you know, not killing. Peaceful lobbies are real and you will be in them. You're not sort of changing others. You're making yourself better. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, cool. All right, good luck out there. You can do it. Shout out to the old timers. Please, if you enjoyed this content, click the like button. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Check out the Patreon if you'd like to support me, or just buy me a burger, donate any amount you'd like, whatever you think this video is worth. It all helps and I appreciate you. Or failing that, like I said, click the like button or listen to the end, which you've done because you're here. Check out the Facebook group that is popping off. It's bloody hell, so many people joining that group. Check that out. Check out the Discord as well. And I will see you guys for the next video. I'll do live streams now, don't forget, so check them out. I'll put a link at the end of the video popping up, should be about now, where you can check out a live stream. They're quite wild. I'm enjoying doing them, so I'm regularly live streaming now as well. Cool. Let me know how you get on with these sort of psychological bits of advice, tips, and hopefully it makes your rat experience a little bit better. There's a rat in my kitchen. What am I gonna do, brother? Do you know what I'm saying? Cool. Right, I'm out. I will see you guys topside.